This is it. Last day of camp. Let's see what happened today. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, today is the last day of camp. Tomorrow, September 5th, is the official day that all 32 teams have to be down to 53 men, and then they get the extra players for practice squad, 16 players for practice squad, and now it's not limited to certain players. Even vets can be put on practice squad. And then every week, you're allowed to bring 2 players onto the roster for emergencies. So for now, cut to 53 tomorrow, and then 55, I think, depending on what's happening the week by week. But today, like I said, is the last day of camp. We met with Brian Flores, not we, but the media met with Brian Flores. We talked to Austin Jackson. We talked to Agba. We talked to Eric Rowe. And I got some little bit like usual. It's not as much as the beginning of camp because they only get 20 minutes. But you guys are probably already know what I'm about to say. But before we jump into that, I got myself some new patrons. We got Stacy Flanders, $4 patron, Alexander Roll, $8 Patreon, and we have Cameron Sparks, a $20 MVP patron. Thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon. I got a bunch of things going on over there, stuff that only the patrons get to see because, hey, they pay for it, so they get to see that special stuff. So if you do want to join, the link is below. But I always say this, and I'll continue to say this, even when we're live stream, because I'm going to be live tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to pick the 10 of you guys that are going to be in the fantasy league. Today's your last shot to do it. Go to day 9 of camp. Let me know there in the comment section you want to join. Then you have to be at the live stream tomorrow when I pick. If you're not there, I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to be in. But yes, even donations and stuff on there. I never asked for that stuff. But if you guys ever feel like you want to, hey, you want to support the channel, help it grow and all that stuff, Patreon's link below. But let's jump into what happened today. I'm going to talk about actually the stuff that's on the field, and then we'll get into press conferences. I'm doing it backwards because the stuff on the field isn't as much as the other stuff. So essentially, Devontae Parker, Kirk Merritt were just doing conditioning. They weren't practicing. That's kind of understood. I think, honestly, Devontae Parker's going to be a full go next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday is the start of the season for the Miami Dolphins. But I think they're just resting him for now. He probably has like a hamstring or cramps or something like that. Again, no conditioning. You take a 3-4 month period, you jam it into 40 days, it's going to be hard for you. Then we have Patrick Laird. He wasn't in a red jersey, so he's full go today. That's great to hear. Kyle Van Noy, if you guys didn't know, he had like a cast on his hand. He like hurt his hand. Now he's just wearing a soft one. But again, full practice. And we have Xavier Howard again, 2 days in a row, full participant, 1-on-1, 11-on-11s, all that stuff. Hopefully he continues to thrive and do what he's doing, and he is ready for week 1 against those New England Patriots. But let's jump into what Brian Flores had to say, and let's hear what all these players had to say. He talks about cutting, because again, by tomorrow at 4 o'clock, they have to have all 53. They have to have their roster to 53. So expect a lot of teams like the Washington football team who just cut Adrian Peterson. They have to cut their players, and you're going to see a lot of surprise cuts. So there might be a lot of moves today and tomorrow to try to free up that space and even claim some of these players that not a lot of people expect to be cut. But he talks about the cut and talks about it's difficult conversation. I try to be supportive, give them good feedback, tell them when one door closes, another opens. He talks about just being supportive. It sucks to have to cut players. It sucks to have to do this, but it's the game, the name of the game. He says the practice squad is another roster on its own in this strange 2020 season. Construction in terms of position have to be strategized. Like I said, they're allowed 16 players on the practice squad. 16. And it's not limited to, I think it's, you have to be like 3 years or under in the league and like no, like 1 year minimum play time. You're eligible for the practice squad. Now it's anybody. Anybody could be put on the practice squad. Like I said in one of my previous videos, they literally could take Fitzpatrick and put him on the practice squad if they wanted to. Anybody could be put on the practice squad. He talks about players available. He says you never know, meaning like cuts, trades, all that stuff. He says you never know. It depends on who is out there and who is available. You never know who is on the wire or who's going to be released. If we can get better, we're going to get better. So essentially, if they feel like they're inferior at a certain position, or they need help, or they want to, put some more bodies there, and or someone gets released, and you're like, wow, that guy's good, and he can instantly make the team better, they're going to try to get him. I think one of you guys asked me what the cap space is right now, and I think with the 2 opt-outs, we're around, and with the Blage cut and all that stuff, I think we're around like 23 million, not 100%. But yeah, we're over 20 million in cap space. He talks about Cam Newton being named the starter of the Patriots. Again, I was not surprised by this in the least bit. He said, we had an inkling. I think we all had an inkling that was going to be the case. We're preparing for 3 quarterbacks and we'll continue. You got to know who the backup is at all positions. And that is very true. If you put all your eggs in one basket for one player, that player gets knocked out, and all of a sudden the other player comes in, and you have to completely change your defensive scheme because Stidham is a different player than Cam Newton. Same with Boyer and Cam Newton. All of a sudden, that player can come in and he might be an inferior talent, but he can beat you because you haven't prepared for him. Now, he talks about the whole Josh Rosen situation. He says, as far as rumors about Josh, I think it's the day before cut down. There are a lot of rumors going around. He says he's fielding calls left and right about Josh and other players. He says Rosen has gotten better over the course of camp. So he makes a point to say other players. I don't know if they actually are receiving calls about other players. Who are those other players? But I think it was just a roundabout, very vague thing to say. But he even said it's the day before cuts. Literally yesterday when that broke, it was the day before cut day. So he was like, it's rumors. And then they asked him about Tua, like, is he the backup? Is he the starter? What's going on with him? And he was non-committal to anything. And he was just like, look, I'm not there yet, and all that stuff. But that's what Brian Flores had to say. He very vaguely talked about everything. He talks about getting better. He said the same stuff as usual, Cam Newton stuff. So that's what Flores had to say. Now we talk to Emmanuel Agba. He talks about facing Cam Newton week 1. He says it's going to be a fight. He's a former MVP. They have a good quarterback. We just have to be ready. Whatever Coach Boyer has as far as game plan, we're going to be ready. But again, Brian Flores says you got to be ready for everything. This team is a team that prepares. They're going to prepare you for anything or anything. I meant to say everything or anything, but I said anything and anything, and I'm what? But yeah, you're just going to be prepared for this. Going to be prepared for the entire team. You want to go into that game guns a-blazing and beat them. You don't want a repeat of 2019. I don't think any of us want a repeat of 2019. Then he talks about the 2020 defense. He says we could be as good as we want to be. Right now, we're taking it one step at a time. Working together, getting better together. You make a play, I'll make a play. And that is very true. If the defensive line makes a play, it'll help the secondary to make a play. If the secondary makes a play, it'll help the defensive line make a play. How, Doug? Well, defensive line makes a play, gets pressure on the quarterback throws it up, interception. Vice versa, if that corner is jamming the wide receiver at the line of scrimmage and giving the defensive end an extra second or two to get after the quarterback because the guy's not open yet, boom. You make a play, I make a play. Let's play as one. Same thing with linebackers and defensive line, if you want me to go into that. You get your, you take your man, a hat on a hat, and you give me a lane to get in there. I'll stop the run and I'll get a sack. All that stuff. It's all good stuff. And then he talks about Tua. He says you have to contain him because he can scramble on you. He says he throws a good deep ball and he has really good velocity on it. We're going to hear a little bit from Tua today. We're getting closer to the start of the season. A lot of people are interested in Tua. A lot of people want to know, is he going to start, when he's going to start? I've done a few interviews already with other YouTubers and other streamers and podcasts. And being a Miami Dolphin YouTuber, they want to know what I think and when I think Tua is going to start. So I've been talking about it a lot. So I imagine how these players are. Then we have Eric Rowe. He says, we have good pieces. We just need to put them together. That's any team. You look sexy on paper, but if you can't put it together on the field, you have the Eagles with Vince Young and Michael Vick, the dream team. He talks about Xavier Howard. He says, from what I see, X looks like he's getting back to form. Obviously, it's going to be a little rusty in the beginning. And yes, he hasn't been playing football in a very long time, but I have a good inkling that this man is just going to light it up week 1. If he's playing week 1. I hope he's playing week 1. But if not, I have a good feeling. He talks about Kyle Van Noy. He says, this is a defense he knows. He's already run it before, which is kind of true. So it brings instant leadership. Last year, we got off to a really slow start on defense. That is the understatement of the year. The year. You put up, 50 points? The Ravens hurt us bad. With his leadership and the fact he knows we should get off to a fast start. I hope so. I hope we just completely smush the Patriots and people go, oh. You know what's going to happen? You know what? I'll talk about this in comment of the day because when you guys ask me a really good comment and I'm going to talk about it, then I'll go into more detail in another video that I have planned. So you got to subscribe. You got to hit the thumbs up because if not, you're not going to hear these things. Then he talks about he says he got a lot better with his eyes and progression. He said during the beginning of the season and the beginning of camp, he was staring down his receivers a little bit, but he said he got a lot better and he has a really good arm. Again, you're going to hear a lot about Tua. Then we have Austin Jackson or Action Jackson. I don't know why I that one. He says the biggest thing was picking up the playbook, making sure his technique is consistently specific to the play call, just doing it over and over and over again so it becomes muscle memory. This kid is taking this extremely seriously. He knows that to be the left tackle of this team, to be the left tackle of any NFL team, is a very, very, very important position. Yes, I know I can already feel the comments coming, yeah, but if Tua is the quarterback, then it's the right tackle that's more important. You know what I'm saying? Very, very important, and he's taking it very, very seriously. He asked that what was it like being compared to Tunsil coming out of college and all that stuff. And he says, I remember him being drafted to the Dolphins. I saw his tape with the Dolphins. He said he's a great player. He has great feet. He actually mentioned his feet and how great his feet were 2 times. I wonder if him and Rex Ryan are good friends. I had to get that joke in there. But yes, for an offensive tackle, feet are incredibly important. Yes, the guards, they're important because you want to pull and you want to have that speed. But with the tackles and you have to have that fast feet to get to the outside, because if not, and those defensive ends duck down, get low, and skid around you, which is slow ass feet, or you're crossing your ankles and you're falling over, it's bad. So that's what I got for you today, though. Be sure to comment below. I'm very interested in what you have to say about players that are, we're getting close, guys. We are 8 days away? 8 days away from the Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots. We are only 6 days away from the start of the NFL season. Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I will be live streaming that game, and I will be live streaming the Patriots Dolphins game. I can't promise I'll live stream every game this season, but I will try to do some of the primetime ones, like that Jags game I will do. But be sure to comment below. I'm very interested in what you guys have to say about everything I talked about in this video. And I'm going to get to one of you guys' comments of the day. And this comment comes from Anthony. And Anthony says, comment of the day. Aside from a win, what are you hoping to see in our week 1 game versus the Patriots? Very good question. And this is why before I said I'll answer that in comment of the day. Obviously, we want to win. I want to win. I don't care if it's a 1-point win. I don't care if it's a 40-point win. It don't matter to me. I want 1-0 to start the season. That's all I care about. But he makes a very good point. What else am I looking for? I want to see continuity on the defense and the offense. I want to see say it's a 1-point game. I want to see like a 24-23 Dolphins win where, the defense is doing their thing. The defense is making stops. The defense is doing their thing. But the offense is also scoring. The offense is matriculating. It's a good game. It's a back and forth. We shut them down a few drives. Maybe they'll shut us down a few. I want to see a good game. I would love to see a 45-0 butt whooping, and the Dolphins are a team to be, don't take us lightly. But here's the thing I wanted to talk about in the video. Say we do beat the Patriots 45-0. For a fact we're not going to get credit. We're not going to get any credit. It's going to be, was Cam Newton ready? Is this a bad team because, so many opt-outs? Is Bill Belichick mentally checking out? Should they have done this? What about the Patriots this? No one's going to talk about the dominance the Miami Dolphins have had if we do that. If we, even a 21-0 beatdown, even like a 21-10 beatdown, no one will talk about the Dolphins. And if they do talk about the Dolphins, what they'll say is, can they do it again? Can they do it at Buffalo when they face them at home? Can they do it against the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road? We have to see. It's only one game, blah, blah, blah. But if it was the flip and the Dolphins got beat down, it would be, yep, same old Dolphins. It's going to be a long season for them. So be prepared. Just be prepared. But I will say this. Be sure to subscribe to this channel because this is the reason I made this channel. Because I'm going to shoot it straight with you guys, and I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. If the Miami Dolphins go into New England and we beat them 45-0, that's because the defense played dominantly, the offense played dominantly, and we shut down that team. I'm going to tell you like it is. Am I going to tell you, hey, we're going to the Super Bowl? No, because it is just one game. But I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to talk about how the New England Patriots do, blah, blah. No, because that's not fair. That's not fair at all, but that's what we've got, and that's why I made this channel. So, Anthony, thank you so much for the comment. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I've been tweeting out a lot of things. I'm very active on Twitter. I am very active here, obviously, in the community section. I point up because it is above. You go to my homepage, it's the bar above. But be sure to check me out there. Check out Fan to Fan Network. They have the Twitch stream that happens Sundays, Thursdays, Mondays, and I don't know if they're doing Sunday night, but they're doing their own thing. I am the Miami Dolphins ambassador. Everything Miami Dolphins comes from me on that site, but they are doing their own like CBS Fox thing where we pre-game talking about all the games. Fan to Fan Network. Check out the website and the YouTube channel. If you want more Dolphins content, check out DolphinsTalk.com. A very, very good site. Ton of beat writers, podcasters, all that great stuff. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Live, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm very excited. It's been a long time since I've been live, and I'm very excited to hang out, chat with you guys, and all that great stuff. So other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you ask to be in the Fantasy League, you got to be there tomorrow during the live stream. If not, God, I don't know what to tell you. I'm only going to be live for about an hour and a half, so I'm probably going to pick the fantasy football guys about 20, 30 minutes in, so you got to be there from 1 o'clock. Because if you're like, hey, I got on, did you pick already? And I did, I'm sorry. I apologize, but you got to be there at 1. So other than that, I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Like usual, stay classy. Fins up.